Okay, everybody, welcome to another episode of The Crown. I'm your host, Kevin Briggins, alongside Ellis Hudson.
What's going on,
man?
people?
Not much, man. All right, so you ready to jump into this?
Oh yeah, you know it all the time.
All right, so we got to jump back to something. So we got to jump. We got to go back to something we talked about last week. All right. So last week we talked a lot about Jameis Winston, Fitzpatrick, and what should the Bucks do. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that today.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Just to kind of start it off with, I want to say before we even get into anything, I will say Jameis Winston is a decent quarterback. Stats don't lie. He's doing his thing down in Tampa. They built a really good team around him. They got Evans, wide out. They got Deshaun Jackson at wide out. They got some good play. They got some good complementary players for Jameis Winston. And, he's a young guy. So, he's got a lot of good weapons to throw it to.
Yes. But so last week you said that they need to move on, keep Fitzpatrick. We played another week. We've seen Fitzpatrick again. Have your thoughts changed? Are they reinforced? What's up?
Well, here's the deal. Fitzpatrick is not a franchise quarterback. He's not. He's a journeyman. This is a 17. So if I was Tampa, what I would do is I would keep Fitz on for this year. Let him play out the year. Release Jameson. Trade him. Trade him. What does Jameson? What does Jameis bring in the open market?
Not a whole lot.
Why? He's a first round, draft pick.
I think only because teams are either set at quarterback or they feel they have a young guy that they're going to stick with for right now. So it's not a lot of teams, I think, that are in the market for a starting quarterback.
Giants ain't in the market.
We'll get to that later. That might be the only team. That might be the only team.
I mean, there's a couple of them, man. I don't know. Like I said, Jameis, he's a deep quarterback. I think he's an average quarterback, right? But the problem is he's got too many. He ain't mature enough. Dude's immature. Fact.
Hey, I can't argue with that. I mean, we talked about that last week, and I do believe that he has maturity issues. But
he is who we thought he was.
Hey, I still think that it is too early to give up on the number one pick. But we do have some more information. You've got Deshaun Jackson's comments saying that you can't bench Fitzpatrick. He's hot. You gotta stay with the guy with the hot hand.
You gotta stick with him.
You got the new information of the silver suit from the Uber driver that came out yesterday.
Yeah.
I will say, I believe this decision will come from the front office, no matter what Deshaun Jackson says. Right?
Yep.
I do think the team has influence, but at the end of the day, benching Winston is the front office saying they're moving on.
Yes.
And I don't know if a couple of weeks of Ryan Fitzpatrick playing well is going to make a front office do that.
You know what? You know what's going to make Winston's value go down? If they play him. If they play, because Tampa Bay, they ain't been too hot. I mean, of course, they play in a hard division, but they ain't been too hot the last 2 seasons, right? So if they play him, and Tampa Bay was right here, and now they go back to where Winston is usually at, I think he loses value. He loses trade value. You got to go.
Possibly, or he comes in and he plays well also with those same weapons.
You're right. You're right. Tampa Bay's been hoping that for the last 2-3 years. You're absolutely right. You know, here's the keys to the Ferrari. You know, but you go do other things and now you can't drive the car, right? Because you suspended, you can't do, you know, you're on punishment, you can't drive the car that we just gave you. So I think Dave Chappelle said it best.
Oh man, we're going Dave Chappelle. Okay.
Jameis Winston is a habitual line stepper. Dude's been messing up since like what, sophomore in college? Probably before that, because he probably messed up in high school. We just ain't hear about it. Habitual line stepper.
I can see that. I can see that. But we're gonna talk about it later. There's a measuring stick of talent and baggage.
Right. Absolutely.
And as long as that talent outweighs that baggage,
absolutely,
that player will get a second chance. They will stay in the league. They will stay around. It is only when that it levels the other way that you see a person falls out.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if Jameis's has gone the other way yet.
And see, I think what was working in Jameis's favor beforehand, before the teammates started speaking up, was that he had individual drama. He had individual baggage, right? That didn't affect the locker room. It didn't affect the team, you know? And now got suspended. The quarterback comes in and now they're doing good. And now you got players commenting saying, hey, we need to roll with the hot hand. Now your baggage is becoming team baggage, you know, and that's that gray area. That's that, you know, that's that gray area, man. That you don't know if you want to touch it, or if you want to bench him, you want to play him.
So we've talked about what you think they should do. What do you think they're going to do? Now,
what I think they're going to do is, I think they're going to play Winston. He's due $20 million. That's a lot of money, right? It's a 50-year option. He's due $20 million. You got to play him.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree. And I was listening to Dan Patrick today, and they talked about, based on what they're seeing in practice and everything, they expected Ryan Fitzpatrick to play really well while Jameis was out. They expected this offense to run because they had seen it in practice.
Yeah.
So they're not surprised that Fitzpatrick is playing well.
Right.
And so I don't think that any kind of media headlines and media pressure is going to make them move away from Jameis. Because this thing we have to remember about this Uber incident. The Uber incident was like 2 years ago.
Right.
Right. No, it took a long time to investigate, and he's just now serving the suspension. The silver suit just came out. But the action that he did was actually a couple of years ago.
Well, you know, the NFL is on that, you know, player conduct type deal. You know, they real quick to suspend.
Yep. But I think what they were saying and reporting was that since then, Jameis has matured and been different since that incident.
You talking about E to W? Is that who we talking about?
Man, why you?
Oh. You see this W? You see that? Yeah. You're talking about this dude, right?
Yeah. That's the dude that he has a electric personality that other guys in the locker room follow.
Do they follow him?
That's all I've ever heard.
But you know what? Deshaun Jackson is kind of an outsider.
So he is. Yeah. He's an outsider, and also Ryan Fitzpatrick is throwing to him a lot.
He is.
So he's like, keep that guy in. Yeah. Deshaun Jackson is about Deshaun Jackson.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, he always has been.
If it would have been for Mike Evans, I think it would have been a different story. But Deshaun Jackson, you know, free agent, he just came in. They plugged him in, you know. So yeah, I get that part.
Yeah, he's a good addition. He's a good addition. I just don't know if he's loyal to himself. He hasn't been in the locker room with Jameis, and I think Mike Evans will be a Jameis guy.
Yeah, I think so too. And, I mean, Mike Evans put up good numbers with Winston. So
yeah,
I think that Tampa Bay is going to roll Winston, because of a couple of things. I think that you have to set a precedent. I mean, you can't, you can't lose your job, injury or what, you know what I'm saying? This wasn't like he was doing like PEDs and he's, suspended for the whole year. It wasn't something like this. Was like you said, it was 2 years ago. It's just not catching up. He showed a little bit of maturity since then. We get it,
I think if Ryan Fitzpatrick was 25 and not 35, we'd be having a different conversation.
Yeah.
But he's 35. He's a journeyman.
Yeah.
And we've seen Ryan Fitzpatrick do this before, play very well in very short spurts. And then he reverts back to being Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Right. But I tell you, Kevin, $20 million is a lot of money.
It is.
Yeah. That's a lot of money, and you got to plan.
I agree.
Just as a business decision, you got to plan.
I agree. All right. So let's move on. Next topic. This is what we're going to talk about. Eli and the Giants.
Oh,
giant mistake. Did the Giants make a mistake not drafting a quarterback in this past draft? What say you?
So, again, another, I think average player. I've never thought of Eli as being an elite quarterback. He's a durable quarterback. He's going to take every snap, but I think that Eli has hit a cliff. I think that, we hear about Brett Favre. We heard about Brady. I mean, we see Brady, playing at 40. We see Breeze playing late, Peyton Manning, So we think that all quarterbacks can play into their 40s. They can't. Big Ben, he's going to be retiring soon. His body can't take it. Eli, I think, has hit a cliff. And I think he hit that cliff 2 years ago. I think that he's overstayed his welcome in New York. And I think he should just go off into the sunset and retire. He's got his 2 rings, And so instead of the Giants getting a quarterback and probably one of the best quarterback drafts ever, they get a running back. And the running back can't do nothing because the O-line is bad. He may get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Eli Manning is not athletic enough to get the ball to the running back in the flats and let him do his thing outside of the blitz.
Yeah.
I'll
say this. My answer is it's too early to tell. Not just with the Giants. It's too early to tell exactly what Sam Darnold's going to be. It's too early to tell what Josh Rosen's going to be. Josh Allen in Buffalo, they could have took him and been in a bad position.
I think Sam Darnold was a good bet because those balls come off.
It's looking that way. But at one point in time, we thought RG3 was the next big thing. We've seen young quarterbacks come in for a period of time very early on and look very good. And I don't think Sam Darnold's going to be. I think he's going to be a very good quarterback. But I also think it's too early to give up on what the Giants were doing because the Giants' plan was to try to win now. They had a good defense the last 2 years.
New York, they got to win now.
Yeah. They brought in some free agent offensive linemen. You got ODB coming back.
Yep.
From the injury last year. You got Evan Ingram. You got Sterling Shepard. And so they were thinking, okay, let's give Eli more weapons. Just give him a running back because he hadn't had a running game since Tiki Barber, for real.
Yeah.
Let's give him a run game and let's see if we can win now. And so I don't necessarily think it was a mistake because I see what their line of thought was. Like I said, Eli's 37. Breeze is 37. Big Ben is the same age.
Yeah, these guys
are 40, 41.
Yeah, we assume that these quarterbacks are playing into their 40s now.
Yeah.
10, 15 years ago, these guys were retiring before their 15-year mark.
Yep. And a lot of people were also blaming Eli's struggles on the fact that the O-line has been so bad. All right. And so the O-line has been atrocious, not even just pass protecting, run blocking. He's had no run game and he's had no protection. And so a lot of Eli's numbers and mistakes and interceptions are really a result of him being an immobile quarterback under a lot of pressure. And so they brought in some free agents, and it just hasn't worked out yet. Either the line hasn't gelled yet, or the pickups just aren't going to work. But I say we have to give it time. I think it's too soon to say, hey, they shouldn't have taken Barkley, because I think Barkley is a great running back. I think he's a doable running back. I think he's a 3-down back.
Is he generational?
I know some have said that.
Yeah. Come on, man. Come on, Kevin.
I like Saquon Barkley. I wasn't as high on him as some others. I just didn't think he was as dynamic as they were making him out to be.
Yeah.
Because they were saying, hey, he's the best running back prospect since Adrian Peterson. And I was kind of like, I like him, but I don't know. But I can see in the right. Is he better than Gurley?
No.
Todd Gurley was a beast coming out of Georgia.
Yeah. And you know what the Rams didn't have when he came out? A good O-line.
Yeah.
They had one of the worst ones.
Yeah.
And Gurley still balled out.
He did. But I will say this, Gurley also has the pressure of playing in, at that time, St. Louis.
Yeah.
And not being in New York.
Yeah, you're right. It's different pressures.
Yeah, it's because the spotlight is on.
That's where we're going now, the pressures. Man, get Eli old behind out of there.
Hey, man.
Golly. Eli got to go.
I'm not an Eli fan. I've never been a big Eli fan.
Yeah.
But I respect Eli from the standpoint of when I was rooting against him, when they were making those Super Bowl runs, man, he was making some throws that was making me upset.
But you know what, though? You brought up a good point. I respect Eli playing right now.
Yeah.
And he's about to get crushed. And they playing in Houston next week? I'm sorry, they playing Houston on Sunday? Oh, man.
I would not pick the Giants.
Watt is looking at his stats right now saying, man, I got to up these sacks up. Man, I'm playing the Giants. Guess what? They about to tee off on them.
Hey, take the Houston defense in fantasy football this week.
Hey, that's a good bet. That is a good bet.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Next topic.
Oh, man.
This is a big one this week.
Oh, man.
Yep. Josh Gordon.
This may go into some other things.
So Josh Gordon got traded. So let's keep it on the field for right now. So after trading for Josh Gordon, do you think the Patriots are the favorites to win the Super
Bowl? I think, well, before Josh Gordon got there, I thought they were the favorites. I think with Josh Gordon, when he was in Cleveland, he was a deep ball guy. Hands were super glue, and I think that Josh Gordon to the Patriots is a match made in heaven for Tom Brady, because Tom Brady likes flinging that ball. He wants somebody that can open the field up, and Josh Gordon is healthy. He's still a young guy. What is he, 28, 29? And Belichick probably just wants 1 year out of him. That's it. Sign a small little contract, get 1 year, and then let him go.
Yeah. I don't know if they're the favorites to win the Super Bowl. I still like the Rams. I still like Minnesota. But I do think it makes them the favorites.
Wait, you said was it get to the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl?
I said win.
You said win. Oh, I think I misread that.
Okay.
I thought it was get to the Super Bowl. So, okay, let me backtrack. I believe New England are the favorite to, get to the Super Bowl in the AFC. Now, winning the Super Bowl, I believe the NFC is going to win the next 3 or 4 Super Bowls. NFC's got some young, good teams with some young, good quarterbacks. I think the only teams that are going to give New England a little bit of hell, I would say Jacksonville. I still say Pittsburgh, is going to give them a little bit of trouble. I believe it or not, man, I like the Titans.
Man, stop playing. You were going well until you went
No,
there.
no. I like the Titans, bro, and my sleeper are the Bengals.
How the Titans not your sleeper?
No,
I'm sleeping on that.
no. Well, hold on. Titans are a maybe. Let me backtrack. Titans are a maybe. They're not my sleeper. The Bengals are my sleeper.
Okay.
Titans look good to me now.
Okay.
You know, and I think that they could give New England a little bit of trouble. They got a good defense. You know, a little bit of question at quarterback with Mariota. I'm still not sold on him, but they got a good running back, good young guy, and yeah, I think Cincinnati is my sleeper team out of the AFC.
I like Cincinnati. I like how they're playing. AJ Green is balling.
Yeah.
But when you think about New England, you got Brady back there. And right now, you give him Josh Gordon. And once Josh Gordon's hamstring gets healthy, and if he stays clean and can stay on the right track and on the field, and then you got Edelman coming back. Edelman's not playing right now. Remember, he's suspended.
Right.
So you're going to bring Edelman back. You're going to give him Josh Gordon. You're going to give him Gronk.
Oh, man.
I mean, we just saw this team go against Jacksonville, and Jacksonville made a statement. So it's hard to just say, hey, they're going to be better than Jacksonville because Jacksonville just showed what they can do.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give him Josh Gordon, and I'm going to give him Edelman.
But see, that's Jacksonville without Fournette.
Yeah, true. But at the end of the day, it comes down to defense.
Yeah, of course.
And Jacksonville's defense made a statement, and they gave Brady no trouble.
Smothering.
Yeah, but they also didn't have to deal with Josh Gordon.
Man, look up at them Titans, boy. The Titans got defense too, man.
I'm disappointed in the Titans run game. I thought Derrick Henry was going to have a big year, but they haven't been able to open up any holes. So that's got me kind of holding it back on the Titans. They made the playoffs last year. You were thinking, okay, maybe they can take that next step.
Yeah.
They're just not getting the push on the O-line.
I don't know.
It's too many because you didn't even mention Kansas City.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I didn't.
No,
that's so crazy. But you know, okay. So here's the deal with Kansas City. Kansas City disappoints me every year. Kansas City goes 6-0 every.
Time out. As a Niners fan, I'm gonna cut you off right there. Check down Alex is gone.
I get it. Trust me, dude. I get it. I get it. Andy Reid disappoints me every year. Even when he was with Philly, you know, dude, they gonna go 6-0. They'll go 7-0, and just Kansas City will go 14-2 this year, and just fall off. I don't get it. I don't get it.
All right, I'm gonna ask you this question: is Andy Reid playing with his best quarterback right now?
Yeah,
the best quarterback he's ever had.
Ooh.
Yeah, think about his Eagles days.
Yes.
Yes.
That Mahomes kid is balling.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that kid is, dude. So, and he's got the best weapons out of all the young quarterbacks. You know,
absolutely.
Maybe Jared Goff, but you know, he's got the weapons, man. And Andy Reid is an offensive genius. But then again, you know, they fall off, man. Kansas City might be the best regular season team ever in the NFL. Ever.
Hey, off in the picture in a little spot. My boy Akil just said that the Bengals come to Atlanta next Sunday. Who you got in that game?
My Falcons. You gotta quit playing. We're talking about the AFC, bro. Come on. Hold up. Where am I? Hold up.
Man, you done left the building.
Hold up, bro. Come on.
Hold on. No, you didn't.
Hold up. Come on. You see that?
We are supposed to be unbiased and neutral. We ready. I am not a homer. That's all I'm saying. I am neutral in all of my assessments and thoughts.
Yeah.
Go Niners.
So yeah, so that's just my only thing about Kansas City. So if and I hate to say this, but Kansas City is like my Atlanta Falcons, right? We are great in the regular season, but man, we just can't get over that hump, And then when we finally did,
We call that? We call that can't get right.
golly, man. So yeah, so he's looking great, man. Mahomes look now. Back to this topic. You know, so in our chat, in our group, we talk about talent versus drama, right? And I think a good example of drama in the locker room are the Steelers. The Steelers are a hot mess right now. You got players talking out against Le'Veon Bell. You got Antonio Brown, up in arms, tweeting, talking about, well, if you don't like me, trade me, and then he's got to backtrack and say, oh, I was just talking about something else, and then you got Tomlin, doing press conferences about players' tweets. Like, dude, no NFL owner wants drama. You saw what happened in Seattle. No NFL owner wants drama percolating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, there's a fine line between talent and drama. And what,
Nah, I didn't mean to cut you off. I want you to expound on, because what was posted in the group, I got it up on the screen, was Dez Bryant, Eric Reed, Colin Kaepernick. And I know you're going into that, but compare Josh Gordon's kind of situation to Dez Bryant, because Dez Bryant's still sitting out there.
Yeah, so Dez Bryant, and I touched on it before. We talked about individual drama and team drama, and Dez Bryant it's not saying that he created it, but I think that, he fed into that team drama, talking about teammates, talking about the coach, talking about Jerry Jones, talking about the team. And I don't think anybody wants to invest in that and bring that culture into the locker room.
Yeah. I agree with you. And the reason that is because, let's say 4 years ago, they would have put up with it because his talent and his production outweighed what his drama was.
Yeah.
Same thing with Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon's upside and his potential is still better and higher than his substance abuse problems.
Right.
And so people are still willing to take a chance on him.
Because it's his problem.
Because talent outweighs his drama. Same thing with Michael Vick coming out of prison. His talent was still there, and it outweighed the drama of bringing him in. Absolutely. Whereas Dez Bryant, at this point in his career, it's not worth putting up with the drama. His talent isn't. His production isn't. And and so in the message that was in the group, they put Eric Reed, Colin Kaepernick. It kind of goes the same way. I've said this about Colin Kaepernick. His talent does not outweigh the trouble it takes to bring him in. Whereas a Cam Newton or Russell Wilson makes that same protest, does that same action, and their talent outweighs the drama, and they still have a job.
Yeah, absolutely. With Cap, it goes beyond. I don't mean to bring this up again, but with Cap, it goes beyond football. It goes beyond just Colin Kaepernick talking to the reporters after the game. It's more than that. You're going to have every player getting interviewed by a reporter. Hey, what's your stance today? Hey, what do you think about the movement today? And it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And I don't know. I mean, just from observing, the NFL for the last 30 years, I don't think that the NFL owners want to invest in that. It's a polarizing topic. It could be divisive, So
yeah. Yeah, I agree. And one thing people don't forget, one thing people do forget is that the NFL is a business.
Yeah, it's a huge business. It's a billion-dollar business.
If you can help me make money, I will employ you. You know, everybody was talking about Nike was gonna. I heard people saying Nike was gonna lose money on the Kaepernick deal. No, they're not. They're not stupid. They're a business. They did their homework and they did their polling way before they hired him and did that ad.
Yeah,
and their stock jumped up. Their sales jumped up.
They knew they would probably take a two-day. We hate Nike. Have you heard about it today? It just moved right on.
Nope. I need some running shoes.
Yeah. Topic is over.
The best shoes I can get from Nikes.
Topic is over. You know, it's like that.
Yep.
It's like that.
But Nike also knew the people that bought their product wasn't the guys or the people who were gonna be upset about it.
Because they had never bought it before.
Yeah, exactly.
They probably don't watch NFL games. Probably didn't buy sneakers to begin with. And just to touch on Cap again, that it doesn't take away from what I still believe he's doing the right thing. I'm not against what he's doing. But from a business perspective, his talent doesn't outweigh what he's bringing to that team.
No, I agree. As a 49ers fan, I had given up on Colin Kaepernick the quarterback. I had a lot of hopes. I was excited. I was like, man, we got the next great thing.
Yeah.
But over the years, his play had declined. He had struggled to the point where, as a fan, regardless of the kneeling stuff, I had given up on Colin Kaepernick the quarterback.
Yeah.
And so I understand why teams didn't bring him in. I understand why teams aren't bringing Dez Bryant in. Dez Bryant can't be quiet.
And I think that people, honestly, man, can't separate the two.
Yeah.
I don't think people think of it as a business. I think these players ain't playing for free.
Yeah. I was listening to it was Doug Gottlieb today, and they were talking about because the NFL released their Super Bowl act for this year. It's in Atlanta. Super Bowl's in Atlanta, and they're bringing in Maroon 5. And everybody's been upset saying it's Atlanta. Bring in something that represents Atlanta. Bring in Luda.
Pastor Troy.
Yeah, but they said that's not the audience.
Yeah, it's not.
It's in Atlanta. That's great. That's not the audience they're trying to appeal to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so people need to start thinking about these things as business decisions.
Yeah. That
these people, they're trying to reach as many people as they can and cater to demographics.
Yeah.
Because they weren't, I thought it was a travesty. I mean, they had Super Bowl in Detroit and then do a Motown thing. I thought that was tragic because that would have been awesome.
Right. Who performed?
They went who was it? I want to say Aerosmith, but it wasn't Aerosmith. But it was something about it. It was somebody like that. They went totally the other way.
Yeah. My favorite performance of all time is Prince.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I don't want to go down rabbit trails, but kind of just talking about I did want to hit on because it was in the group and it was, man, I think we had 196 comments on that.
Oh, I think it went more than that.
Yeah. About, Cap, Dez Bryant, Josh Gordon. And so I'm glad that we kind of had a chance to talk about it. And I just kind of wanted to lay that out for people to think about it from a business perspective.
Yeah.
As opposed to how you feel about whatever the movement might be or the player. Because at the end of the day, if you can help me make money, I'm going to bring you in.
Yeah. And I think, the problem is that people can't separate the two.
Yeah.
That's fine, That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So all right. So let's move on because we've beat that drum. We've talked a lot about the NFL. Now let's drop down to some college football. All right. So this week
wait, before you begin, are you going to give them a disclaimer real quick?
Man, give you a disclaimer.
So here's the deal. So Kevin put out this poll, right? Apparently, I didn't get this poll. He put out a poll and said, "Hey, who are your top 12 college football teams right now. So I didn't get this poll. And y'all see who number one is. Unanimous decision, Alabama. Y'all know damn well that I would not have voted for no dang Alabama. I don't care about Tua. I don't care about Saban. I don't care about their defense. I don't care about – they've been playing some cupcakes. So Georgia should get a vote. Go ahead.
All right, so next week when the poll changes, y'all know why it changed.
Yep.
But hold up, number one won't change, but
number one won't change, but unanimous will.
Yeah. So like you mentioned, I put a poll out to some people and said, hey, give me your top 12. And I compiled it, did a point system, and this is the top 12 for the Porch Yakkin group. All right. So Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Ohio State, Oklahoma is your top 5, followed by LSU right outside. It was really close, but LSU 2 top 10 wins already. Beat Miami pretty good. Then came back and upset Auburn, which both of us locked this week that Auburn was going to win that game.
Yeah.
And LSU came back and proved us wrong.
Yeah.
But this week in college football was a disastrous week for the Big Ten. Outside of Ohio State and Penn State, it is looking rough. You had Northwestern lose to Akron. Wisconsin was in the top 10 and lost at home to BYU.
Oh, that was ugly.
Yeah, it's just not looking good for the Big Ten. Nebraska lost to Troy at home. Yeah, and so for the college football playoff, their only hope is Ohio State and Penn State, and they better hope those two teams don't stumble because they might be left out. You got Stanford at 7. We talked earlier. I'm not really buying Stanford. I don't think they haven't really been impressive. They beat a USC team that Texas just beat 37 to 14.
Yeah. But like I said before, the Pac-12 is just a weak conference this year, and Stanford is the best team in that conference.
Yeah. They got a good test this weekend. They go up to Eugene to face Oregon. I think that's going to be a good matchup. So you got Notre Dame, man. They almost fell to Vandy this past week.
Woof.
Yeah, I know. Vandy actually outplayed Notre Dame in that game. They were lucky to escape with a 5-point win. I was pulling for Vandy. I was rooting for the SEC, but Vandy, at the end of the day, Vandy is Vandy.
Yeah. Ivy League school.
Yep. Penn State, Auburn. Like I said, Auburn let both of us down. We locked them.
Yeah.
I did not feel that LSU's offense could generate enough at Jordan Hare against that defense to win that game. But they did. I give Joe Burrow credit. He did not have a good game. He's a 46% passer. But when it came time for clutch throws on third down, man, he was making some big throws. And his receivers were making some big catches. And there's a lot of controversy at the end. People were upset about the pass interference calls that set LSU up for that final field goal. But the way I look at it as a fan, I could see Auburn fans being highly upset with that. Once I saw the replays, I think the officials had to call those. You had one where the receiver comes off the line, the DB just grabs him around the hips to slow him up because he got beat. Yeah, you have to throw the flag on that. And the second one down the sideline, he's grabbing the dude's arm so he can't reach up and grab the ball and catch the ball. That is the definition of pass interference. He's holding his arm.
Yeah, clear cut.
You kind of made those calls easy on the officials. And as I heard one person say, Auburn was getting pass interference calls because they were just getting beat. Auburn's secondary is not good. And the defensive front, give LSU's O-line credit for holding off Auburn's defensive front, because Auburn's defensive front did not wreck the havoc I thought they were going to wreck. I thought LSU was going to have a long day.
Yeah.
But Auburn's struggling. They played Washington, they played LSU, and they're averaging 3.3 yards a carry in those games.
I mean, honestly, man, Auburn and LSU don't look like strong teams.
Put it like this: if there was stock, if LSU was a stock, I would say sell. Because the value is high, but it's fool's gold, and it's gonna fall. So if you got LSU stock, sell it now.
Yeah. They just, they're fortunate to be in the SEC, and you win games in the SEC, you can get ranked high.
True, because you're playing big matchups, and I give them credit. They beat Miami, they've beaten Auburn, but they've got Georgia on the schedule. They still got Mississippi State. They got Alabama. They're going to have some losses on their schedule.
Oh, yeah.
If Joe Burrow doesn't get more consistent, you can't be a below 50% passer and consistently win games.
Yeah, you can't win like that.
No, because based on the stats and the analytics, 84% of the time, based on the analytics, Auburn wins that game based on how both teams perform.
Yeah.
But on this day, LSU got that one win, and that's what matters.
Hey, Kevin dropping these analytics. Hey. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and then the final team in the top 12 is Washington. Washington had a tough matchup. They did look sluggish, but I'll be honest. Between picking them and Washington this week, I was kind of on the fence because between them and Utah. Utah is very tough at home, tough defensive team. They had to go to Utah, and they did look sluggish. But at the end of the day, I think they played two really tough defenses, playing Utah at Utah and then playing Auburn in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I think as the season goes on, they play easier defenses. That Washington offense is going to look a lot better and get going. I still don't know between them and Stanford who's going to win the Pac-12. But for the Pac-12 sake, I think they better hope that it's Washington. That's their best chance to get in the playoff.
Yeah, Stanford is
justified. Look, we went on the road in Atlanta and played Auburn and lost a close game. The committee can say, you know what, you're right. And so that was our initial rankings, top 12. We're gonna be putting it out every week on Monday, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing kind of how it changes. And
this is what happens. I didn't get it, so imagine that.
Hey, after your hating statement earlier, you might not get it this week.
You best believe that is the last time Alabama is unanimous.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I didn't even talk about Alabama. I didn't even talk about the shootout that was supposed to happen. That was just a slaughter.
Yeah, it was. So, for those that aren't in the group, in the beginning, it looked like A&M was going to give Alabama a good game.
Ole Miss,
my bad. I say A&M?
Yeah, that's this week. They get theirs this week.
I'm looking at the screen. Yeah, it was Ole Miss. I thought they were going to give them a good game. It wasn't even close. Like, I went to go use the bathroom. I came back, and Bama was up like 38. I was like, what happened?
Yeah. It was impressive. Now, I knew Ole Miss defense was really bad. And so when Ole Miss scored first on that first play of the game, 75 yards, touchdown. Yeah, I was kind of, part of you saying, okay, DBs, get it together as a Bama fan. But
because they were advertising Ole Miss's wide receivers, and I was like, okay, maybe I get it. They want to hype. I get it, But when the game started, the quarterback is flinging 50-yard, 60-yard bombs. And I'm like, oh, man, okay, he wants to open it up.
Yep.
But, man, Bama's defense, they grind you, man, and they hit you. And then you think twice about running that 45-yard route. You think twice about, running through the middle on – like, those guys hit so hard that you remember it the next play. You remember it 5 plays from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't forget that hit.
Yep. Now that's what I was going to say. The biggest takeaway from that game was Alabama's offense because we knew Ole Miss's defense was bad. But the Alabama defense, this was their first real test.
Yeah. And
they passed that test. The DB stepped after that one play. They stepped up. The front got pressure. Quinn Williams, Raekwon Davis, they got pressure. And the Ole Miss quarterback, Tamu, was really affected by it. You can see him getting flustered. He got happy feet.
Yeah.
He only completed 7 passes the whole game.
So crazy.
Yeah. Because, like I say, it was 49-7 at the half. It was over. And Ole Miss knew it was over. And so we were running the clock out because we had a big lead. They were running the clock out because they didn't want us to score anymore. They was like, let's just run it and let's just get out of here. It was almost like if we could have just stopped the clock and had the mercy rule and everybody went home because they had no interest in actually trying to score anymore. They was like, okay, we're done.
It looked like their game plan was, let's fling this ball all over the field on Bama and see if they can catch up. And
I mean, that's their style of play. They run that air raid offense.
Yeah.
So they run that the old Texas Tech offense under Mike Leach, that air raid, where it is deep routes, it is stretch the field, and it's high scoring. I saw them play Texas Tech. Ole Miss looked good.
It's fun, it looks cool, but man, when you get hit in the mouth a couple of times, you're not running that route as fast.
Yeah.
That quarterback got happy feet back there, and Bama's got NFL defense.
Yeah.
Every year.
This thing about that air raid defense is very deep routes. And so for those routes to take to progress, you got to get that quarterback time.
You got to get time.
And he did not have time back then.
Nah. There was no real play action, nothing like that. Running backs hurt.
For play action to work, you actually got to have a run game.
Yeah.
And so
they got no run game.
Yeah.
That dude was like, I am not running this ball against these mountains. Y'all are crazy. And these fast mountains.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about our locks.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was not a rough week.
What's going on, man? I'm 1-2, bro. So
hey, I went 0 for again.
Yeah. So y'all know I picked I had picked New England to beat Jacksonville, and Jacksonville, they shut my boys down. They shut down New England. That defense is nasty, man. Blake Bortles, he's not turning the ball over. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. Fournette is not even playing. So once they get Fournette back, Jacksonville should be probably maybe them in Kansas City should be the biggest threat to New England. I picked Kansas City. That was my upset pick. I mean, it sounds crazy now, but I picked Kansas City over Pittsburgh. And last week I talked about how they were going to win, and I said Pittsburgh's going to come out and it's going to be a high scoring game, a lot of offense, and it was. But Kansas City got more offense. they got more weapons, and that Mahomes kid is the truth. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say this dude is the best ever, like some people are saying. He looks like a young Russell Wilson. So that's not a bad thing.
Yeah. 10 touchdowns in 2 weeks is a big deal.
That's a big deal. It's a big deal. I mean, he's a good looking quarterback. Yeah. And he's in the best system a quarterback can be in. Andy Reid and all those weapons. They got defense. They got probably the best tight end in the game. They got Tyreek Hill. It's man.
Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, great team.
Yeah.
And then of course, Kevin touched on it earlier. I had Auburn over LSU, and LSU pulled that out. So those are my locks. This week I got Tampa Bay over Pittsburgh. I think Fitzpatrick is going to have the game of his life because Winston is going to come back and play. So I think Fitzpatrick, I think those wide receivers are going to step up, and I think Fitzpatrick is going to have another 400-yard game. Pittsburgh's defense is doo-doo. They have absolutely no defense, which is really a slap in the face to Mike Tomlin because Tomlin is a defensive coach. That's his side of the ball.
True.
So I don't understand what's going on in Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin, I think, has lost control of the team. The locker room is a mess. Drama does not win nothing. I got my high-flying Atlanta Falcons over them cheating behind Saints. I'm surprised they even got a team as much as they cheat.
Akil, where you at, man?
So
you in the chat.
I got my Falcons over New Orleans. We're playing in Atlanta. Matty Ice. He's Matty Ice again, looking like Michael Vick out there. My boys, he's probably going to have about 10 rushing touchdowns this year. Last but not least, I got Iowa over Wisconsin. Iowa's on the roll. They ain't really played nobody, but the momentum is there. They're playing it in Wisconsin, and I think Wisconsin is kind of like on a down spiral, and I got Iowa taking them. Those are my locks for this week.
Okay. All right. So last week I went 0 for 3. Thanks a lot, Auburn. No, I put my faith in y'all. I gave y'all a lock. I thought y'all was legit, and y'all let me down. All right. I also put my faith in Philly. I thought Tampa Bay's. I wasn't buying Tampa Bay. I wasn't buying the Fitz magic.
He a believer now, y'all.
Yeah. for right now, we'll see how long the magic go. It tends to fizzle out with Fitzpatrick, but we'll see. And so I thought Philly, seeing Tampa Bay's defense against New Orleans, I thought Philly would go down there and have some success. But give Tampa Bay credit, even defensively, they played well. Now my last lock was one for kind of fun. I picked Toledo over Miami. It was an early kickoff. It was at Toledo, and coming into this game, Toledo was actually 5-3 versus ranked opponents coming to their house, and so I've seen a lot of upsets happen in the Glass Bowl.
Yeah,
and so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go with Toledo. Miami looked bad against LSU. I'm not buying it. They gonna be uninspired playing up in Ohio early in the morning. But it was a close game to about midway through the third quarter. Miami just broke it open.
They just broke it open.
They broke it open.
Athletes came alive.
Yep, the athletes took over.
Yeah.
So I went 0 for 3. This week I'm going 3-0. 3-0. Gonna turn it around.
Let them know, y'all.
See, I'm not a homer like you. I know when my team isn't going to win. So I'm going Kansas City over San Francisco. That's a lock. I'm a Jimmy G fan. I think Jimmy G is the quarterback of the future. But I know our defense is not ready for that offense.
No. Yeah. But man, come on. Kansas City over San Fran, bro. You even got where's the helmet? Where's the helmet at?
Oh, it's right here.
Yeah.
Hey, it's all day. It's all day.
And let me tell you something, bro. If Jimmy G beats Kansas City, you selling that helmet. That's a lock.
Hey, it looks like I'm gonna have a helmet here because I'm locking that.
Kansas City San Fran better not win that game, and you pick Kansas City over your. Oh man.
Hey, all I say is I'm not a homer. All right, so
Falcons always got my pick. Better know that.
All right, so other lock, I'm taking TCU over Texas. I know TCU's coming off their hard loss to Ohio State, but I was impressed with TCU. I thought they played hard. I thought they played well. I really felt like they gave that game away. They lost by 12 and they gave up 2 defensive touchdowns. That's 14.
Yeah.
And one of them that shovel pass was just a horrible call. But and I know Texas is coming off the USC win, but I'm not sold on USC being anything. USC is a bad football team with a freshman quarterback.
Yeah.
So it's at Texas, but I'm locking it TCU over Texas. Tom Herman still hasn't turned this thing around. All right, and this is my last lock. And it's not a homer pick. I just believe what my eyes are seeing. And I believe Alabama covers the 27-point spread against Texas A&M this week.
Woo.
It's in Tuscaloosa.
Woo.
And I never had any issues about the offense. My issues or my concerns were with the defense. And what I saw that defense do to that Ole Miss offense, I think they're ready. And so I think they covered it. I think they covered the spread, no problem.
So I like Texas A&M.
You say you do or you don't?
I do.
I like them too. I just think they come into a bad spot. I think they're playing the best team in the nation. This is the thing. Alabama's Achilles heel has always been the quarterback position. We always had the offensive line. You had the running backs. You had receivers. You had NFL receivers. But you never had a big-time quarterback that can utilize all those weapons. And you had a defense.
So to go back a couple of weeks, do you think that it was a weak Clemson team or a strong A&M team where they almost beat Clemson?
I think it was both. I think Clemson is good. This is why I picked A&M to upset them in that game.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I watched it.
And it really is. If Jalen Hurts was our quarterback, I wouldn't be picking Bama to cover a 27-point spread. It wouldn't even be 27.
What?
I feel the same way about Kelly Bryant at Clemson. And because A&M has talent, Kevin Sumlin recruited well. Yeah. And so Clemson wasn't just going to out-athlete Texas A&M. Texas A&M was going to bring athletes. And they were playing at night. They were playing at home. But I was really impressed with how far Kellen Mond has come under Jimbo Fisher as opposed to where he was last year with Kevin Sumlin. And so, but this doesn't take anything away. I just think that coming to Alabama in front of that crowd with that defense, I just don't think that he's going to have a lot of success. But Alabama's going to score. Tua is going to score. You can't load the box against Alabama to stop the run anymore.
Absolutely.
And when you do that, it's just going to pick you apart. And if you sit back and say, okay, we're going to just stop the pass, well, Alabama's run game is going to kill you.
Yeah. And
so this is the first time that Alabama has had that dynamic offense to go along with a dominant defense.
You know what's crazy, man, is I think this is the first time that I've watched every Alabama game.
Hey, it's must see. And regardless of who you're a fan of,
yeah,
that kid is just fun to watch.
He's fun to watch.
You see how the ball comes out his hand. You'd be like, man, that is not a normal.
He's fun to watch, man.
Throw. He's throwing darts.
He is the LeBron James of college football right now.
Yeah. You stole. Don't even go there.
You start, y'all.
Hey, I will say this though. We call him Windex. Why we call him Windex?
Why's that?
Because he throwing them tight windows, baby. Windows be tight. Get your Windex out. Get your Windex. Clean them.
Wipe on, wipe off. Yeah. So this is the first year that I've actually watched every Alabama game. I mean, Jalen Hurts, Alabama is boring. It's a boring, it's a boring. They're going to beat 44-14. I got it.
Slow, grind it out.
Yeah.
Wear the team down with the run game.
Yeah, man.
Do some play action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Running.
I compare it to this. Take Oklahoma's offense last year and then get them a defense.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what you're looking at. Oklahoma couldn't stop anybody.
Yeah. And you know what I'm most impressed about with Tua are the 25 to 35 yard throws that he's making.
Yeah.
Dude, they're on the money, all sides of the field. Man, the dude is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
These aren't like high throw. Dude, these are NFL power throws.
I put it like this. One analyst talking about how quarterbacks are rated. Like you have some quarterbacks who can hit the door with the football.
Yeah.
You have others who can hit the knob.
Yeah.
But then you have those elite quarterbacks that can hit the keyhole.
Yeah.
He's one of those elite quarterbacks that can hit the keyhole.
Yeah, man.
He has a natural ability to throw the ball where he wants it.
Yeah, where he wants it.
Yeah.
If you could mix Russell Wilson with a little bit, and Russell Wilson's not as accurate as Tua kid. If you could mix Russell Wilson with a little bit of Aaron Rodgers,
that's the name that his throwing ability is being compared to.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers. Now, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, dude is money, man.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, I'm trying as a fan to not be overly confident, overly excited, but it's just hard not to, because it's hard not to believe what your eyes have seen.
Yeah, he's excited. And here's the thing, if he didn't have that second half in a championship game, we would be as excited. We would still have question marks of, well, can he really do it against a defense? Is this right? When's he gonna lose? Yada yada. But he had the perfect second half and beat my Georgia Bulldogs. On the biggest stage. Yeah. And really, really on our home turf. I
agree. All right, man. It's been a good show. This is episode 3, and I think we've just gotten better and better and better. Hey, if you guys are watching, like us, subscribe to the channel.
Share it. Tell your friends. Tell your mama. Tell your daddy.
Yep. Comment. Let us know what you like about the show, what you don't like. Just give us some feedback. If you're new to the show, like I say, go to Facebook, find us, join the group, join the discussion. We like to debate it out, and just a bunch of guys who love sports, who love to talk trash.
Oh yeah.
All in fun though. All in fun.
All in fun.
Yep. All right, so man, it's been real. You got any last words?
Yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out to my boy Apollo. Apollo.
We gotta get Apollo on the show.
My man.
Apollo, where you at?
This show is dedicated to you, Apollo.
All right. But yeah, we're gonna get some more people on the show coming up in the next couple of weeks here. We were supposed to have one tonight. We had a special guest. It didn't work out, but we're gonna start getting some more guys in here and really debating these topics out, because I'm tired of killing Ellis.
I love being the bad guy. I'll take that title all day.
All right. Well, everybody, have a good time. Keep it real, and see you next time.